And we can see the 60 people who have just signed in. Welcome. I'm Julia from Tradition Kitchens, handing it over to Ruby.
Hi, everyone. Julia just gave that really nice little introduction. I am Ruby, and Julia and I are going to be your hosts for tonight to experiment with these awesome blueberry recipes. So we cannot wait to get started. But before we do, we always like to get to know our audience a little bit better. So yeah, I'm already seeing that in the chat. If you would like to tell us where you're calling in from, we love to see where our audience is from, all the different awesome places represented on the map. So I'm seeing Los Angeles, Arlington, I'm seeing Atlanta, Pittsburgh, that's where I'm from as well. So this is always great. Thank you so much. And just a few quick announcements. This meeting is being recorded, so that will be available later on. The recording as well as the recipe for you guys if you have to step away for a second from the computer and you have to miss a portion of the live class or anything, have to leave early, that's totally fine. We have you covered, but you'll probably hear me repeat that again just to make sure everyone has all the information we need. But yeah, we're getting lots of amazing stuff. We've seen Canada, Australia, some Texas in there. So I think now what we're going to do is we're going to transition over to something that we like to call the kitchen cam, which is modeled after the kiss cam. And we'd like to see who's on the call with us and if anyone's cooking along. So we're just going to take a look and see who we feel like might be in their kitchen. I feel like it looks like Marcy. Yeah, raising the hand. Let's spotlight Marcy. Say hi.
Hi, how are you? I'm so excited. I can't wait to try this. The last lesson that I did with the tea and the biscuit was awesome. I'm still making it, so I'm hoping this one will be just as good. And my sister this time is joining me.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Oh,
Really
oh, there she is, Sherry. I'm adding the sisters to the spotlight.
Hi. Hi.
And me.
So we're looking forward to it. We love this class.
Oh, thanks for being here. Great to have you. And the class that Marcy was talking about, it was we learned how to make chai and rusk, which are Indian tea biscuits. It was just Diwali, so we want to wish everyone who celebrated Diwali a happy festival of lights and New Year. Let's see, Janet Livingston. I love following you on Instagram. Could you introduce yourself and tell us where you're calling in from?
Hello, good afternoon. I'm in San Francisco, and I really enjoy all the different presentations that have taken place through Tradition Kitchen. And sorry, I went ahead and made the mocktail ahead of time. It's gonna be delicious.
Oh my God, I love it. Karon, what do you think? Can you see?
Oh, the color is perfect. I love it. I absolutely love it.
This is so awesome. Janet, I can't wait to see your picture. You always take the best photographs, so please take a picture of it. And as you sip throughout the class, we can't wait to feature you.
Will do. Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Of course. Ruby, I think we have time for one more quick intro. We're at 72 amazing guests. Anyone else you want to spotlight? How about Sonia? I see you're on camera. Would you like to unmute? Tell us where you're calling in from.
Hi there. So I'm Sonia and I'm in the Seattle, Washington area, just north of there in a little suburb called Bothell. And I've never taken a class before here. So I'm looking forward to trying out the cookies and the drink. I'm very excited. I love to bake and cook. So thank you.
Absolutely. We're so happy to have you. Thank you for being here. And I think Ruby is going to kick us off with some opening announcements, and then I'll chime in with a few more, and then we'll hand it over to Karan. So Ruby, excited for today.
Guys, again, if you just joined us, my name is Ruby. I work with Julia for Tradition Kitchens, this amazing virtual cooking space that likes to feature people from all different experiences, all different types of chefs from all different types of cuisines, nationalities, cultures. We just find connecting people from different walks of life really important. We love family cooking, intergenerational cooking. That's all really special to us. And it's kind of all coalesced on this beautiful platform, Tradition Kitchens. It was formerly an in-person class, but as lovely as those would be, there's been some silver lining in having to do virtual classes. You know, I live in Pittsburgh, I'm not Atlanta based, so I couldn't have made it to any of the awesome Tradition Kitchens classes, unfortunately, without a plane ride. So, and we're really lucky to welcome friends from all over the world and all different places. So just a big heart and love to everyone here. If you're new, if you've been here before, we just really appreciate it. And we know that the community wouldn't be the same without all of you guys. So yeah. Thank you so much. And just again, a few housekeeping things. We do like to encourage our participants to turn their cameras on if you have the ability. We just love to check in with people and see if you're cooking along, and also just see your faces, your wonderful smiles. We love that extra element of community. So that's something. Another thing, I was kind of seeing some questions in the chat, as well as I mentioned earlier that this class is currently being recorded. So this means that we'll be posting it onto our platforms that Julia did a great job of linking below, and we'll continue to get that information out to you guys in an email, and, you know, probably periodically sending it throughout the class, but we will have the recording of this demonstration from tonight, as well as the full recipe and just some other resources that we'll share with you guys. So, you know, no pressure if you have to step away or if you miss something or have to leave early, we have you covered. You can always look back when we post that on our YouTube channel and other stuff. And we just always ask that everyone keeps questions and comments respectful. We're gonna do our best to answer one another, but we also love when there are other people in the chat who have a suggestion that they maybe suggest. So that's really just part of what we're about. And, you know, we're not trying to be like Master Chef or like Hell's Kitchen or anything too crazy. We just like you're in your neighbor's kitchen, learning about their story. So I think I'm gonna pass it over to Julia just to make sure we say everything we wanna do before we get started with the demo, but yeah.
Thank you, Ruby. Amazing job with the intros as usual. We love having you as a kitchen ambassador to help spread culinary cheer to everyone. So welcome, welcome. I am going to invite you all on the bottom left, if you're on a computer, to turn on your video. We have 78 amazing attendees here, and we want to capture this moment together in a selfie, our Zoom selfie, which has become a Tradition Kitchens tradition. So turn on your video so that we can capture everyone. We know people are in different places and locations, but it's always really nice when we can see each other. I'm currently on gallery view, which is really, really fun. You can see everybody like we are the Cooking Brady Bunch all together. So, oh, Brandon, I love it. And it's great to see you again. President of the Karon fan club will definitely be coming over to you. Devora, Maria, Joy, Lizanne, Marie, Ted, just gonna call it a few people. Randy, great to see you on video. Judith, I love your setup. That is super cool. And I see so many more faces. So last call if you want to be in our selfie. Devora, it's great to see you. We haven't seen you in a while, so happy to have you here. I'm going to count us down just in real life. Sometimes we blink. So I'm going to give you a 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. One more just in case anyone's eyes closed. Some Thomas, great to see you. 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Thank you for humoring me. Now keep your cameras on because it is always so much fun to be able to look out at everyone. We'll be spotlighting you as hopefully some of you are cooking along, some of you are here watching. Either way, you are most welcome and we're so grateful to have you. I am thrilled to toss it over to Karan, who is here for her third class. Cooking with Karan is now an official Tradition Kitchens partner. I have known Karan for many years. We both grew up in Atlanta, but didn't have the privilege of knowing each other while we were kids, but we got to know each other in college, and over the years have kept in touch. Also, since we're from Atlanta, just have to give a shout out to the Atlanta Braves. Woo! If anybody is a fan, let us know. They just won the World Series in the United States, and we're so thrilled. I see a few Atlantans on here and some cheers, so thank you, thank you. And Karan, I just can't thank you enough for opening up your kitchen and teaching us about your history and your recipes and what is special to you through food. So the virtual kitchen space is yours. We're excited to have a very good evening with you.
Right. Thank you, Julia. It is always a pleasure to be back with you all. If you've been around, you see I kind of migrated, so you'll see things on top of my fridge, ignore them. But I do have my camera here, so you can see the official term is mise en place. I've learned the best way to do demos is to prep everything in advance. So I have everything set up for both of the items. Yes, perfect. So actually, let me move camera just a little bit. There we go. So we'll see
we
everything.
Recommend speaker view. So now you can see Karan and side by side with her amazing setup.
Yes. This is special for you all because if I was making these, I would just be measuring straight out of the bag of flour and sugar, but special just for you all. I prep everything in advance. So let me just say, blueberries are tied with blackberries for my favorite berry. And I would say they're one of my top 5 favorite fruits, period. I don't like a lot of fruit. I get teased a lot for that, but it's okay. These are my favorite. I always loved blueberries as a kid. Blackberries recently have just come out as a high rival for I can eat them at just by the handful anyway. But I get inspired for recipes by looking on Instagram. And I came across a version of this, but it was a vegan version. So I'm not vegan. I dabble in vegan cuisine, but I'm not vegan. And I decided to tweak it some and make it my own. So we're gonna do the cookies. Now the beverage portion, that's all me. I made it up on my own. Okay, trademark. But the cookies are foolproof. They're easy. We're coming up on cookie swap season. These are so easy. And I'm gonna talk about some swap outs that I have done. I know, Julia, if there's questions, since this is very easy, this can be very conversational. So if y'all have questions along the way, please feel free to chime in. So I started, if you have your recipes and you're following along, this is just a flour. It's only a cup, not much, just regular flour. I didn't sift it, didn't do anything, nothing special about the flour. I know a question would be, can you use gluten-free flour? You can try. I would imagine this would be okay with maybe I think it's coconut based, or you can try it. I haven't tried the flour portion yet, but you can try it with the flour substitution. And here I have just my salt and my baking powder. It's not much. It's only what's it, teaspoon or half a teaspoon of baking powder, and then 1/8 a teaspoon of salt. So that's going in there. We get the remnants out, and we're just gonna mix it. If I can get it all out, we're just gonna mix it. Nothing formal. The next piece, before we get going, make sure your oven is preheated. You hear mine beeping at 400. The next thing I want to do is get berries. Now let's talk about the berries. Because I'm with you all tonight, I'm going to try a little something different, but believe it or not, this works best, 100% best with frozen blueberries. So I happen to have some fresh ones as well. So I'm going to mix them. So the first thing I'm going to do is nuke these for about 15 seconds, not very long in the microwave. So I'm going to do that shortly. And while I'm doing that, I'll talk about butter, but I'm going to go put this in the microwave in a second. But I do want to talk about butter very quickly. You can do this with vegan butter. Actually, the recipe I base this off of, they use vegan butter. I like butter. I'm from the South, I like butter. But you can do this with vegan butter. wouldn't take away much of it. And then we also have sugar. I like cane sugar. You can use regular granulated. You can even, I have swapped out and done monk fruit sugar, and it was actually pretty tasty. So if you want to cut back on calories and you want to reduce sugar, that is also an easy swap out for you right here. But I'm going to go stick this in the microwave 1 second. And the reason why you have to microwave it is because you want them to get a little, for lack of better culinary terms, gummy, so that they will stay intact in the cookie. And we're right at 15 seconds. All right.
I'm a little confused.
We're not cooking these, we're just nuking them a little bit. So there they go again. So.
It looks like Marcy has a quick question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm a little confused. Am I supposed to melt the butter, the 1/3 of a cup of butter as well?
I actually had that out for a while and then I nuked it a little bit. So let's talk about that.
And also am I also going to nuke the berries, those two things? Do I need to nuke both of them?
Yes. Well, let me ask you this. Is your butter, like, did it come straight out the refrigerator?
Yeah, yes.
I would nuke it because you want to get it to a 1/3 cup in its whatever form. So I wouldn't fully like don't make it super hot, I should say. You want to get it to just melt. If that makes sense. So it's easily incorporated. That's the phrase I'm looking for.
And
so
you say a 1/3 of a cup of frozen raspberries,
or
blueberries. I'm using raspberries, but that's only a few.
It is. It's not many.
Oh, okay.
It's not many. If this is only a 1/3, it might. You know what though? Is that Marcy?
Yes.
You can. This is the beautiful thing about this recipe. If you decide, you know what, I want a little bit more than a 1/3, I might go a little bit closer to a 1/2. It's not going to impact it.
Okay. And my last question, I see you have a mixer there. I thought, could I do this by hand?
You can. You can do it by hand. That is entirely up to you. I just use my mixer because it's here and I don't.
Where's your mask?
Oh. My mask. Oh, sorry. My presenting. I should be no.
No, she's in her own kitchen. I think that was a background noise.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I got to go microwave everything. Thank you.
I'll slow down a little bit. I don't want to leave you. So I'm gonna put my flour and my other stuff in here. Sorry, I'm just getting stuff off. But again, the beautiful thing about this recipe is that if you're not exacting, it is okay. Well, obviously you want the flour, the baking powder and the salt. But if you decide, Karon, I want a little bit more of the berry action, or when we start adding the other ingredients, if you want a little bit more, it is okay. I have definitely dabbled with, I want to add a little bit more today. So I'm gonna go ahead, put this in my mixer. And now there's another part of this that I did want to note. I do not refrigerate after you don't have a microwave. If you don't have a microwave and you're able to just heat them up briefly in a saucer pan, because you want to get them just a little term, like I said, there's no official term for gummy, but you want to get them a little juicy, if you will. Just heat them up in a pan for just a minute or two, not even a minute. We'll just say until they start to burst just a little bit. You don't want them boiling. You don't want them piping hot. You just want them a little to the point that they're starting to open up. I saw that question in the chat. The other thing is this now with the regular butter, I don't refrigerate these after I mix it. I've seen people say refrigerated so that they're firm enough. With this version, I find that they are firm enough to scoop out and put on our sheet. So if you find that we can address that, I don't anticipate that happening, but if you find that your mixture is a little too soft and you need to make sure that you can maneuver it and use it a little bit more, just stick it in the refrigerator for maybe a few more minutes, and you'll just bake it a little bit later. But you shouldn't necessarily have to. That's not been my experience. And that's not to say it doesn't happen. So let's get started with that. Any more questions before I continue to move on? I'm gonna turn my mixer in. I saw one. I'm looking at the chat. I don't see any more questions, so I'm gonna
No, I
continue.
think we're good. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna continue. So we have, and again, if you're gonna microwave, if you're gonna
Wait,
heat
one
up your,
more. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Mhm.
What is in the bowl now that we're gonna mix together?
the flour, the baking powder, and the salt.
That's it.
That's the only thing in the bowl in my mixer right now. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I'm actually gonna lock it. I was gonna say, oh, the other thing is that if you are heating up your berries, since I've been talking, mine have cooled. They really didn't get that warm. But if you have to heat them up, make sure that they cool down. You don't want them hot. You also don't want your butter to be hot as well. For anybody that's a cake baker, the ideal thing would be to leave your butter out for a little while and let it get soft. And that is really the texture you want as well. It's just soft and malleable and wonderful. But if you're like me and you're working today and you remember that you didn't leave it out after lunch, it's okay if you just nuke it in the microwave and let it melt down. Because actually I didn't really melt it all the way down. I just stuck it in there for a few seconds, and this is the result of after it's just been sitting for a while. So you can still see there's a piece in there. Yes. Any more questions? This is an easy recipe so we can talk. I won't leave anybody. All righty. So let's put, trying to decide what I should do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, add my sugar. And again, sugar is up to your choice. Adding that to my mixer as well. And then going to do actually the butter. And again, this is just 1/3 cup. And I saw someone that said, commented on my little bowls. They're just a mixture of little ramekins and whatever I have. I'm going to put it on a low speed so I can hear everybody. And then I'm also going to add in my berries momentarily. Because what will happen is the berries will start to burst. And it's funny, I shared this recipe with my boss after I made it for the first time. And she said, oh, did you use food coloring? I said, absolutely not. These are blue because of the berries. So. Letting my mixture get a little bit. All right. I'm gonna go ahead, add in my berries now. And you see, I don't know if you all can see, I have a little juice in there, which is kind of what you want, because that'll help also make your mixture come together better. Now I can start moving stuff away. Actually, I'm going to stop for just a second. So I want to get some of the stuff off the bottom. Just make sure it mixes in there. And if you can see, let me bring you all closer. It's already blue. It's already turning blue. We're going to keep mixing it up a little bit longer. How are we doing out there? Is anybody mixing yet? Or are we still waiting for the cool down?
Let's see, we can add a few people to the spotlight. So I'm going to add Sonia and Denise, who's been really chatty. I think you're cooking. Oh, where did Denise go? And Sherry, I'll add you just so we love to check in, see how people are doing. Let's see, where is Denise? Oh, here you are. Oh my goodness, I see we have a very young attendee. who's watching from bedtime, I think. Can I add radiance? This is really cute. Hello, will you say hi?
Aw, he's so cute.
Hi, friend. Now, Sherry, you might need a fork. You might, because it'll to help incorporate that a little bit. Unless it's coming together well on that way, but you might need a fork just to see how it comes together. I see you're being supervised. So I see you have supervision in there, but so this is what you want.
Wait, let's see what we want.
Okay, let's see.
Oh.
Nice lighting. So it almost, for lack of better comparison, it looks like to me, it reminds me of the cookie dough you get from the store. It's thick, it's very malleable, and I can scoop it up and start making my cookies. I'm gonna mix it a little bit because I got a little flour in here that didn't quite incorporate on the bottom, but it should work. Now again, I don't think this needs to be refrigerated. I have baked it exactly after I've done this, but that is entirely up to you. Some people like to let it sit for a minute. This is not one of those, one of my favorite Linzer. Those are some of my favorite cookies, but they are so labor intensive, but I love them. I made them for the first time last year, and I will never make them again probably because they were so intense. But so this is about what you want. And I am going to start scooping onto my baking sheet. I'll put this away.
When did you put the chocolate in?
Well, we'll find out.
Oh, forgot one thing. You guys let me forget the most important thing. So I have a friend, I think I'm going to try to make her one. I don't know if she'll be watching tonight. I have a friend that keeps asking me to make these without white chocolate. To be fair, I'm not the biggest quote unquote white chocolate fan, but you can't really taste, how do I phrase this? It to me doesn't taste like white chocolate. It's just another layer that supports the blueberries. So FYI, if you chose, and I actually have seen people that have done regular milk chocolate. I've never tried that, but you can. So I have these little chips. I'm actually going to put this back on the stand, but I have these little chips. So this is again where you could add more, less, whatever your preference is. I just poured this in here because this is what I had. This is no more than like half a cup, but I probably won't add the whole ramekin. You could also not do chips. You could do nuts here. I would recommend maybe a walnut or a pecan, or in the South we say pecan. It won't be as sweet, but again, this is not an overly sweet cookie either. You'd be surprised how the white chocolate mutes, and maybe it's because of the little minis that I get. These are not the standard white chocolate mints chips, they're smaller. So yes, I forgot to add these, but I'm going to add them in to my heart's content. I know there's a measurement. Man, this is one of those times where you don't have to measure. I'm going to go back, add this a little bit. I shouldn't take it off.
Hey, Karan, if someone's adding pecans or pecans, do you add those now?
After you want to do that. That's your last step before you're done. How to store. If you're storing these in the fridge, I've seen people do it a couple of ways. You could just, let me grab my sheet. Actually, no. I would take some, I'm just going to show for some saran, put it in there, kind of and roll it, make it into like a cookie roll, and do it and let it chill that way. If you feel, but I don't know if it's necessarily needed. I don't do it, but that's only if you feel like it's not firm enough to work with after you mix it. Yes, the recipe does double easily. It does. It doubles easily. Now, I've seen people, and I haven't gotten that, I'm not that mature in my baking world, people with scales, they're serious about it. I mean, actually, there's more of numeric scale weight for the butter that you're supposed to use. I haven't made it that far yet in my baking days, but it does double well. It does double well. So this makes for me, it's about 10, 12 cookies, which is enough for me because I'll have to give some of these away anyway, but it does double well. All right, so now here we are. I've incorporated, I'm not adding any nuts. I do like nuts, I'm just not adding any tonight. But again, that's a variable you can play with. You don't have to do an exact ratio of what's listed. 76 grams of butter. Listen, people that have those scales, listen, if you want to gift me one, someone want to gift me a scale, I would love a kitchen scale, but I'm just kidding. But I'm getting ready. So see, I still have chips left over. I could have added more, I could have added less. I eyeballed it. It's about what I like. Add to your heart's desire. Getting my baking sheet, going with the gold standard of a Silpat. Well, this is not a Silpat. This is some off-brand. What do you call it? Silicone sheet. This is not this. I have a Silpat. I couldn't find it. This is my other Silpat. But if you don't have it, it's okay. I just find that cookies come out extremely nice when I do this. So that's why I have invested in some. But you don't have to have this. But if you like cookies and you want to continue to bake cookies, I do recommend this. And it does save your, the having to wash your baking sheet afterwards. And these come out nice and clean. You just rinse them off. So cookie size is up to you. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to switch out or grab a regular spoon somewhere. I can find one. Pardon me while I grab a spoon. Any more questions? I told you guys this is pretty easy. And again, make sure that your oven is preheated too. Oh, I see a hand. I see Susan's hand.
Susan, you can go ahead and unmute and ask your question if you want. That's totally fine too.
Yes. Oh, she wants to put it in the chat. And I saw the comment about, oh, thank you, Bob. I need to get that information from you from where you got your scale, since maybe I was looking at the wrong ones. I was probably looking at ones that are a little bit more. I'm being very, what's the word? Calculated tonight with my cookies, but usually I just grab them by the spoon and roll them around in my hand. But you can do however you feel comfortable. I've never made giant cookies with these, but I make these about this size is what I usually stick with. Again, this usually gives me about 12 or so. Yes, it was a tear button. It makes me think about science class. Make sure you tear the scale. Oh, I don't know if Susan had a question, but if you do, Susan, I'm still able to talk and shape cookies as we go.
I'm good.
You good? Okay.
I'm good. Thank you, though. You've answered
welcome.
everything. Are you
Okay.
using that cookie scoop?
No, ma'am. You see what the wooden spoon and a regular old spoon.
Okay, perfect.
Nothing special.
Okay.
Again, normally if I wasn't on camera, I would, these were just for me. I would scoop these out, roll them around, and that's it. I saw the question about if they spread a little bit, but not a lot. And you see, I am mashing them down a little bit. They don't spread that much. And again, like I said, I'm mashing them down. So they're gonna be, put it this way, the space that I have them, how I space them out, that's enough. That's more than enough room for them to not crowd each other. And let's talk cookie care. And I have learned this because I started a cookie swap last year. I've been requested to do it again. Hopefully this year we can actually somewhat at least do in some kind of swap in person. Maybe we'll go to a parking lot or something and do the swap. You can freeze cookie dough. Just how I shared, you can put it on the plastic sheet, roll it. You can freeze it until you're ready to cook. So if, you know, with Thanksgiving coming around the corner, if you want to make some cookies, these perhaps, you can freeze these and make them later. I may not have quite 12. We'll see. I've got enough. How about that? I've got enough. Is anyone adding any nuts or anything to it? I think someone asked about when they should add them, so. I've got just a few more. Oh, one more. Okay. And there you have it. Just enough. All right. So I have an odd number. That's okay. Well, not even number. I have 10. Usually comes out to 12. I don't know what I did this time, but it is okay. All right. They look shaped enough to me. Just use my old spoon and spatula, or wooden spoon, I should say. All right. There we go, folks. The lovely picture that I sent over to Julia kind of looks like it. Yeah. Let's see. So any questions before? I can still answer questions as I rotate around, but I'm going to go ahead, put this in my oven. I think I usually do like 11 minutes. It does depend on your oven a little bit. The range is 10 to 13 minutes. It's better to go a little lighter first. So I usually do 11 to 12 minutes, but I'll do 11 tonight just so we make sure and then we have time. So going in the oven. Alexa, set a timer for 11 minutes. Yes, I use my Alexa for everything. Now, temperature on the oven is 400. Let's get ready for phase 2 of our evening. So I have a few things that I've been pretty excited to try in this recipe that I've picked up. I know some of you are going to fuss at me because I have something that's pretty specialized, but you can make it. I just happen to have this because I picked it up not too long ago. But I have, so 2 things. I have a little bit of a flavored sparkling water. This is what is this? It's Elderflower mint lime mint elderflower sparkling water. It's my favorite. It's all at Whole Foods, but it's one of my favorite things. If you want to bribe me, you can just bring me one of these and I'm good to go. So that's what I'm going to be using for my base. I also I was in Virginia Beach not too long ago, and I stopped by this amazing coffee shop on my way back to Maryland, and they had flavored simple syrups that you could buy in-house. So they had this lavender simple syrup that I'm going to try tonight for the first time. So I know some of you are saying, well, that wasn't on the recipe, because I know that. I apologize. But all that to say, if you find yourself in a place where you can get some simple syrups, by all means, get it. Now, this is another one of those do as you will kind of things. I have a recipe. Those are guidelines. Recipes are suggestions, especially with something like a cocktail. Recipes are suggestions. So I'm going to start with muddling my mint and my blueberries. I cheated a little bit. I bought some lemon juice. It's okay. It's just, same thing. But I'm going to start muddling. So how many lemons will make? Depends on the lemon, Marie. Sometimes maybe a whole lemon. And I think I've actually done maybe a whole lemon, maybe a lemon and a half when I've done this recipe. I've also done it with lime for people that prefer lime. but I would say maybe a whole and a half of a lemon. And if you want to do 2 lemons, that's fine too. Because this is more of a free-flowing, we're not baking it exercise. So let me actually grab a little plate, so I may not use all of this mint. So yes, while I'm muddling. So I have a muddler. I also have a pestle and mortar. It's around here somewhere, but I do like this because it has the ridges on it. I don't know if you all can see that, but it helps to bring out the flavor in the mint. This came to me because I love mint. If this was a summer, I would have gotten this mint from outside. I have a bunch of different varieties of mint that I have managed to keep alive for the past few years. Mint is very hardy. I did not know that when I bought it. I have it in a pot. Don't plant mint in the ground. It'll take over your yard. The muddler or the mint? Let's see. I think I got this on Amazon. No, the mint. It's just regular mint. Any type of mint. Any type of mint is fine. And I haven't muddled it. I'm just taking it off the stem since we're baking and have a little bit of time. I'm sorry, Julia, or Ruby, Julia and Ruby, I've taken over the chat. I think I'm in teaching mode, so I'm accustomed to looking at the chat and multitasking.
You're great. Thank you. I love it.
I'm accustomed to doing both. So again, with this, oh gosh, it smells so good. I love mint. It's not an exact science with the mint. You could add more if you want. Our lovely attendee that already made the cocktail had mint for garnish, which I thought was amazing. I highly recommend that as well. So you never muddled. It's not a exact science. You're just breaking down the mint. I'm using my little measuring cup, and you're just crushing it because you're releasing not only the flavor, you're releasing the aroma, and you're just crushing the mint so that when you put it in your drink, you'll actually get the flavor of the drink. So I'm going to keep muddling. Check the chat. Okay. Julia, I'm going to put Brandon on the spot. He said he was going to make it.
Yes.
He's going to make it into an adult beverage.
Oh.
And if I had gone, there's a winery here that has an amazing sparkling wine. That would have been amazing with this, but there he is.
I mean, let's be honest. Doesn't it sound like a shot of vodka or rum would just take this drink to the next level? I mean, let's think about it. I mean, honestly, we're all adults here. I think of
It's Friday.
vodka. It's Friday. It's after 5. It's time to put us.
It's well after 5.
Well after 5, yes.
So
yeah. So see, James agrees with me.
I see some hearts of agreement.
And again, I'm not stopping you from doing that. I did want to show. So I've muddled. I've broken it down. So as you saw, it was a little bit fuller. Broken it down. I want to move quickly with this. I'm actually going to muddle my blueberries as well with this. Julia, remind me later. And I'm not going to muddle the blueberries too hard because they don't need to be broken as seriously. They break pretty easily. But I want to incorporate the mint into the berries. It's not a cute looking thing, but it's okay. It sounds gross, but all good things come soon. Julia, yes, I tried something and I am in the midst of the experiment. It sounds like a mojito. Yes, it is like a mojito. Almost. I saw this strategy, if you will, for preserving your berries longer in the refrigerator, and you put them in mason jars. So I tried it earlier this week. We're going to see how long this works and if this lasts. But I will share that with you so you can share it out. I need a spoon.
Yeah, that's so fun. Brandon, I'm just gonna unspotlight you for a bit, but we'll bring you back for some commentary because we always love hearing from you. Good to see you again.
Yeah. All right. But before you take me out, to my Australian friends, even though it's only a little after 11 there, guess what? It's 8 o'clock here, so you can celebrate like it's 8 o'clock there. So we'll let you get in on the mix too.
Amazing. Thank you for that endorsement of fun, however anyone likes to have it. Amazing.
I have my picture. I'm going to eyeball add some lemon juice. Again, I told you all this is a little bit bigger picture than the recipe calls for. That's okay. Adding my lemon juice, adding my lavender simple syrup. And again, this is where you can kind of say, okay, I don't need it to be super sweet, or I want it to be super sweet. All I'm doing is swirling to mix it all together. Now, oh good. I was gonna say, I hope this opens well because sometimes it doesn't. All right. And we're pouring our drink on top. You could also throw in some, I don't have any. Actually, I do know what I want to add though. I do want to add some blackberries. I have some. I want to throw those in there. And I need a tasting cup. We'll go with the standard Friday night vessel, a red Solo cup. And I'm going to get a blackberry. Give me 1 second. I can show you all my experiment. So the goal is to keep these longer. I mix my blueberries and my blackberries together because I eat them like candy, but they're in, oops, out the way. They're in a mason jar. And get them open. No mold. So far, they still look fresh. So I'm going to grab, let's do it like this. I'm going to muddle a few blackberries in here. Okay. All right, so everyone by now, I hope has at least their cookies in the oven. I would hope. Anybody need any questions or has any questions for me? With the blackberries, you could strain it. It's just me, I'm not picky about this. These are juicy. But you could drain it. I don't want to. I want to drink it as is.
Did you rinse those blueberries and blackberries before you put them in the mason jar?
I rinsed these 2 days ago.
And dried them? And
yes.
So paper.
So the trick that I learned from the lady who posted this link about keeping your berries fresh longer is you wash them or you soak them in water in like as she labeled it, a gug. A gug is actually a cooking measurement of vinegar, white vinegar.
Right. Yes, I do.
Yes. And then you let them dry. I let them dry for a long time. And then I put them in the jar. Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah, I learned the white vinegar during COVID.
Yes. It's still COVID. I just learned it.
Thank you.
Could you repeat the order that you put everything in? Because I don't remember putting the sugar in.
So I muddled the mint first, and then I mixed the blueberries with the mint. Then I put the sugar. No, then I put the lemon juice and then sugar. Honestly, now I'm sure if this was a bartending school, they would probably say you probably should do it. I don't think it matters. That was the right to do it in. I definitely always muddle first. I always do my muddling first though.
And then you put in the club soda or sparkling soda, whatever you use. Thank you.
And again, this is one of those things it's a great summer cocktail. I'm going to try, and my cookies are done. I'm going to take and check on these. I think I'm going to take these out and come back to you all. Okay. I got my oven. All right. Time moment of truth to taste this. Mm. Oh, okay. I'm good. But you can still, the beautiful thing about simple serve is you can add it. If you're squeamish about all the things floating at the top, you can take it out. Our lovely colleague from San Francisco, I don't know if you still have your drink out. Hers was gorgeous. She had it in a lovely jar with the mint hanging off the side.
This is actually delicious. Thank you. Delicious.
Isn't it's just, and it's refreshing. It's really, it's a perfect summer beverage, but I still like it year round.
Oh my God.
Glass. See, I told you, this is the standard Friday night glass. This is what I have.
Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I want to see if anyone else has a glass yet poured. Oh, Sherry. Okay, we're gonna add you. Anyone else? Brandon, you'll just be here in spirit because I know that you're.
Hi, sis.
Someone asked about the brand. It's Whole Foods. I would love to say that Whole Foods paid me to make this endorsement, but they did not. I just happen to like this flavor. They have other flavors. They have a pineapple passion fruit. That is my other favorite one. They have passion fruit. And then you can just get, it's again, this is just their brand. I know that Trader Joe's has some amazing ones as well. They have Trader Joe's has
It's delicious.
I think they have a lemonade.
It really is.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, everyone who's up on the spotlight, you can hold your cup up and we're gonna take another selfie because it's so cute. No cup yet? Okay, Denise, we'll take you off. No pressure. All right. Sonia, I don't know where you went, but I'm gonna take you off too.
Okay.
Brandon, you're gonna have a virtual cup. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more. I love it. I know everybody's probably like, oh my God, what is she like in real life? She takes so many pictures online. Okay, beautiful.
You're so cute with your little fancy glasses and my red Solo cup.
This is very delicious. This is very
I'm loving
nice.
all the glasses, and I like the add-ins. The drink, the color is really nice on all the drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, I think I'm gonna add some vodka.
Yes. Oh, then you have the Kettle One. That's the right vodka. That's it right there.
I'm trying it right now.
Yeah, let me know how that tastes.
Not too much, Marcy.
Hey, it's Friday night.
It's okay. You're not driving tonight, Marcy.
Delicious. I'm adding more.
Yeah, Marcy, a little more. There you go.
A little more.
I went to go
Don't
get
encourage her.
How do you make it colder?
You can add some ice. Just add some ice or chill it. I'll admit I am a room temp kind of gal, so I would add some ice or just chill it for a little bit.
Yeah, put some.
Nice. This is,
Here we go.
oh wow, and the cookies.
Oh, my
are
cookies.
out. Yes.
We're done.
And
They're
then-
so excited about the drink, they forgot the cookies.
Don't forget the Alexa. Look, use your Alexa to your advantage.
I know.
How
now
to
I
store the
have-
cookies in for how long? The cookies don't last long in my house.
Oh,
Tell what you just did.
I just put some wine in here. It's delicious.
I have stored them. Oh, someone said chilled
Pinot
wax.
Grigio.
Yeah, that's another good one. Like a good you can store your whatever. You can store a mason jar in the refrigerator and let it get a nice little frost on it. I have stored these for probably up to about 4 days in a Ziploc bag. Or you can actually get it back. I've actually wrapped them in foil, saran individually, and store them in a baggie. Keep them soft. They stay soft really well. They don't get hard easily. They stay when they've sat for a few more minutes. I can take one and show you. I actually have a video on Instagram after I've made them, and they just break apart so easily. Yeah, they're very soft. They don't get hard. I love a good soft cookie, but it has a lot of good flavor. But
How do you know when they're done? Do they get a little brown?
Little brown on the edges. If you want to do, if you want to get scientific, should not be jiggly in the middle or anywhere. Take a toothpick if you want to just check just to make sure. And again, I tend to do I don't do any more than 12 minutes. But it does depend on your oven, so you want to watch. So I would, if, like I said, start with 10 or 11 and then just check. So they're done. Let's see, and that's it from my house. That's it from my house. Any more questions? I want to see if anybody, well, I want to hang out to see if anybody's finished your cookies yet.
Here you go.
We got somebody finished?
Oh, Marcy, even plating it in a beautiful way. Wow, she's and
This one
That's
is
a fancy silk hat. Look at that with the nice little circular. Yeah, no, this came from like
And
Ross
this
or
one I
something.
put nuts in it.
Yeah. Oh, how are they?
I haven't
Meredith?
tried it yet.
Okay.
we're gonna add
So
you.
one plain, one just raspberries and one raspberry. Oh wait, one raspberries and white chocolate chips.
Mhm.
One raspberries, white chocolate chips, and peanuts crushed into it.
Oh,
Oh, I use
Marcy has
macadamia.
a sampler platter that we all need to hear about.
Yeah.
She has a whole sampler platter. I want to hear about.
Cool, I'll try it.
Meredith, can you give us Meredith's up here, Denise, and Janet added some cool icing. Can you turn your phone horizontal so we can see it? Let's see.
Oh,
Wow, those look like
Ooh.
I love the riff on it.
Oh, wow, that looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Janet, did you make the icing yourself? And if so, what did you use?
Sure, that is some of the white chocolate chips with about probably 3 or 4 tablespoons of heavy cream that I
Mm.
heated and poured over the chips, and then
Mhm.
just piped
That
it
speaks
over.
my language. Heavy cream.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's gonna be
Yes, heavy
delicious.
cream.
Thank you,
They look
delicious.
very delicious and they're pretty. As who was that? Desiree said they are fancy, and Mike C
They are
said,
fancy.
yeah, they are very fancy.
Yep, sprinkles on everything. I'm not sure if you can see the purple sprinkle. That's trying
Oh
to go
my
with it.
goodness. Wow. I need a picture. I need a
Beautiful.
picture of those, Janet. Please take a picture of those, Janet.
I will.
Yes.
I'll tag you on Instagram. Thank you so much.
I love that you all have made your own, because again, these are foolproof. And I don't like that term, but they're very, very easy. They don't require a lot of fuss. You can make them quickly. They didn't require a lot of ingredients.
My son doesn't like white chocolate, but my husband doesn't like chocolate. So I made some, he likes white chocolate. So I made some with white chocolate, some with milk, and then some without. And I did raspberries and blueberries.
Oh.
wow.
Okay.
Can we see a close up?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think they look that pretty, but
They
They
look
look
pretty
like-
nice. It does, yeah. You got yeah.
there's the one with the white chocolate.
Yes. Sherry's got her bottle.
Well, Meredith, I would slam dunk them.
I saw that
Thank
too.
you.
Yes.
Thank you, Brandon.
Sherry's got her bottle. They're having cocktail hour over there.
Yeah, and see,
Approved.
and see,
Approved.
Sherry they were talking about how much vodka Marcy was putting in hers, but I saw you all pouring that wine a little heavy there. I was watching. I saw you.
I used all the vodka. I had none
They're
left.
sisters,
No.
Marcy and Sherry.
No cookies and milk.
Mhm.
It's cookies and this delicious drink.
Exactly.
And for those of you that have not made the Silpat plunge, again, I got one of these from Ross or Marshall's or one of the places. But the reason, look at this, it comes up so easily, and the cleanup is amazing. That's all I'm doing is moving them around because they come up so easily. Your house should smell like blueberry cake, pie, everything.
Cake, sweet you said.
What's that cake?
All right.
Nice. I'm so impressed. This is awesome. And for those of you who are watching the recording after we post this, they're not going to see all this fun, but it's kind of funny. I once went back and watched it and I was like, oh, wait, nobody can see us pinning everybody and spotlighting. So it's kind of hilarious. But anyways, this is awesome. Anyone else want to show us off their cookies or their
We already did. I'm going to take them out.
Danny asked if you could add oats to the cookies.
Yes.
You know, Danny, if you choose to try that, I would add just a little bit at a time. Like, not, let me phrase. I would add maybe a 1/4 cup maybe of oats to try to start. I wouldn't, because there's only a cup of flour in here. and there's not a lot of liquid. The liquid actually comes largely from the butter and the berries. So you want to make sure that you're not adding too many dry ingredients. Or maybe if you took 3/4 cup of flour and maybe 1 cup of oats to start, or 1/4 cup of oats to start, just to see how it turns out. Can't hurt.
What do you think? What do you think about toasting the oats, Karan, before adding them
Toasting
into?
them?
Yeah,
That could
because my
work.
concern, my concern would be that with the short
Oh,
baking
yes.
time, that the oats would not get done enough in the
Yeah.
short baking time, maybe. So maybe you kind of toast them a little bit first, then incorporate them in. They'll ensure that you don't get the weird texture when you
That
chewing
grainy.
them. Yeah, that
I also, to Brandon's point, I would use like quick cooking.
Mhm.
I wouldn't use anything else. Like, yeah, I would not any slow cooking. Definitely a quick cooking oat.
Mhm.
And I would just say I would just try it just to see how that turns out. I'm excited.
I saw a question earlier about if the cookies were chewy or crispy. So for those who actually made the cookie, are yours chewy, crispy, or they kind of like in the middle somewhere?
Chewy, mine are chewy.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
here
mine are very soft, chewy.
we go.
Okay.
Hold on. I can pick it up. Oh,
Chewy.
it's very, 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 very soft. They're extremely soft. You can see the middle kind of collapses on me. It's very soft. Oh God, I had a little piece. Now I want a whole one. Sorry.
I ended up using almond flour in mine.
How did it go?
It's good. My son is here. I'm gonna have him taste it and see what he thinks, but it's good. I think
Okay.
next time I'll just do it with regular flour. But
Okay.
it tastes good.
I'm gonna say I'm not gluten intolerant, but one day I will figure out how it goods. See, I'm already caught up. I'm caught up. How it tastes. A gluten-free recipe.
Yeah, I've gotten really into a lot of gluten-free cooking and baking, and I've substituted a lot of oats, oat flour for regular flour, and it's worked pretty well. So I'd be curious. I'm gonna try it this way too.
Let me show you my sugar. Let me find it.
Oh, and coconut sugar. Does anybody use that? I discovered coconut sugar during this time. Yeah.
I actually have a bunch of different flavored sugars that I got. We were in Alabama. Like, this is a peppermint patty sugar. So I have like all these different sugars, a key lime pie sugar or key lime.
Oh,
So I use some of that. Apple cinnamon.
So now, Meredith, what part of Alabama? We can meet you at the state line.
I'm telling you, like, we can just kind of drive
We'll
over.
just meet you at the state line during the holidays.
I live in Pennsylvania, but we went to Fairhope to visit my in-laws, and I found this store, and they had all these sugars, and my mother-in-law was not as excited as I was to find all these sugars.
Like,
so I went a little.
What's wrong with you all? Like,
So,
this is great. Kind of like me in this simple syrup. When I found that they actually do they have a caramel, they have, I bought 3. I bought lavender, caramel, and I think cardamom simple syrup.
Yeah, so I have these. I have salted caramel. Is this kind of like what you have?
I mean, and this was just made by a coffee shop that I just happened to go and see that they don't even ship them. They just make them in-house, and I think they make them when you get there. But yeah, let me see. I have lavender.
Lavender sounds good.
Yeah, that's what I used in the that's what I used in the drink. Oh, peach.
Oh,
that's the one I got in caramel.
And the caregiver.
This is not an endorsement for roast riders in Virginia Beach. However, I do recommend going there because they had an amazing peach cobbler beverage. It was delicious.
I'm gonna have to go there.
It is so few ingredients. I know that was my struggle when I was thinking about cookies for the next cookie swap. I was like, cookie production you gotta chill it, you gotta wait, you need you saw my whole setup was right here. So it's very easy, straightforward. You can do a couple of swaps. Like, again, you can do vegan butter, you can do sugar substitute. Yeah. And it's easy, it's quick. My kitchen is not too much of a mess right now. Not too much of a mess.
Well, this is amazing. It has been a very sweet, sweet evening for some of us. It's day for others. Any final questions for Karan and crew? Gotta love the alliteration. Gotta keep Brandon in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have rehearsal in the morning. These aren't going to make it to rehearsal.
All right, I'm looking, Ruby. I don't see anything. Sherry, did you have a question?
Yes, can I take the batter and put it into like a loaf pan and bake it?
Sherry, if you do that, let me know. I would imagine it won't rise much. So I think you end up with like a giant cookie.
Okay.
But
if I
it doesn't
try,
have that much, it doesn't have that much to make it rise, and it's not that much batter. But I think I don't think it has enough to make a good loaf. But I would imagine if you found a good loaf-based recipe, just swap in blueberries. I think it'd be great.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Brandon, do you agree? Brandon actually is a phenomenal baker.
Yeah, I'm just recruiting him behind the scenes for a future class. So, good call out, Karan.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
We talked about this.
Brandon, what do you bake?
I like to bake red velvet cake, key lime cakes, homemade brownies. I'm actually going to try my hand at a salted caramel brownie soon. Well, in the South we say caramel, some people say caramel, but salted caramel brownie for the holidays. See bread pudding, just about anything that I want to try.
Key lime cake.
Yeah. Yum, yum, yum.
And then of course, and different flavors of pound cakes, because once you get the pound cake down and everything, see, the thing is, the reason why I decided to learn how to make a pound cake is because most of the ones I get were used to get in the past were like really dry. And so I actually found, ways to get them, nice and moist, and then they last for a while, because nothing worse than a dry pound cake.
Crisco and sugar.
I mean,
Crisco, sugar, and evaporated milk.
There you go.
Yeah.
3-3. Crisco, sugar, and evaporated milk.
Susan Smith, come
So
on the video. We'd love to see you.
Look, I see I've been recruited for a class by, is that Kaden? Looks like Clayton.
Kaden said I can do a class too. But I'm going to make all these, and I sent all this to a friend of mine. I was very impressed.
Good,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I've already downloaded the Instagram, and I've saved all the recipes, so I'm a good student, but plus a retired teacher.
Oh, well, so look, so you know what the expectations are then. What did you teach?
What did you teach? The assignment. She understands the assignment.
What did you teach, Susan?
I will. 1st and 5th.
Oh.
Okay.
35 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Very proud of it.
Yeah, look, we often say this to our servicemen, but I'm gonna tell you, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your
service. Thank you
for your service.
It was a pleasure. I will tell you from beginning to end, it was a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And I'm a dying breed. Not dying, but dying breed.
Right.
Gotcha.
Aw, thank you so much.
Thank you.
1st and 5th were one of my favorite, or 2 of my favorites, I should say. So
everybody loves their 1st grade teacher. They do. They just love their 1st grade teacher. I used to be able to pull teeth. You cannot anymore, but I could.
Now,
100 years ago.
Now, when you pulled the teeth, Susan, were you also the tooth fairy, or did you let the parents know?
No, I sent it home I sent it in the little brown envelope. That's a good question. Nope. I gave instructions. My grandson just lost his, yep. He's yep. Instructions. Grandmama knows it.
Oh my gosh,
Thank
I haven't laughed this hard in a class in a long time. Thank you, Susan. That was so nice.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And Brandon, can't wait for your future class. I think we're gonna wrap us up. So I'm gonna unspotlight you, but it was a joy seeing you again. Look at those cookies side by side with Karan. You coordinate blue and blue.
Hold on.
So Oh, wait, hold on. Wait,
Oh,
let's see
take a
that.
picture?
Don't drop them. Don't drop them. Oh my gosh, wait, they're so cute. Okay, I got a picture. This is wonderful. I know Ruby is gonna wrap us up. Before I toss it to her, one last question from May. Can oil be used instead of butter?
Potentially. I mean, butter is an oil, but my concern would be that there is no dairy, or there's no, let me rephrase. My concern is a consistency issue. Because if you do oil, it might be a little too thin. Salted butter might make it a little too salty. It in a pinch, I have done salted butter, but I don't always recommend it. I always do unsalted butter for baking. People always ask me what brand I use. Kerrygold for everything, all day, every day. I'm not sure about the oil. I'm not a. That's a good question. I would say no, just because of the way baking is. But yeah. Now, if you said coconut oil, maybe. But yeah.
Well, and let me add something about the butter. Now, for those who, like me, still use regular butter, I'm a Land O'Lakes fan. And so Land O'Lakes has something called extra creamy butter. And if you try that, the texture of your baked goods will be much better than regular. I mean, Kerrygold is good. I've used Kerrygold too.
I swear by Kerrygold. This is where we divide in our relationship.
Extra creamy butter. So those who like just regular good old butter creams, use some Land O'Lakes extra creamy.
Truth be told, though, truth be told, you do want a good quality butter, period. So I mean, you don't want to skimp on the butter. I mean, quite frankly, if I can get my hands on some Amish butter, that's butter.
Randy, do you have a butter question or other question? We brought you back. We brought you into the spotlight. Or you want to participate in the butter debate of 2021?
Great butter 2021. I mean, it is a holiday, serious, critical question.
Well, I like your colorful trivet under your plate.
Oh.
And
you know me, you know where I got these from.
Where you got, yeah, I loved it.
Trader Joe's.
Oh, it's lovely.
And they've had some one that are more like holiday colored coming, like they're out right now. At least I saw one maybe about a few weeks ago that are more like browns and fall colored, I should say. But yes, I bought these at Trader Joe's.
They're lovely.
See, again, where is my endorsement from Trader Joe's, Whole Foods?
Honestly, we've
Roast
never been sponsored, but you might make that happen, Karan.
I need a Trader Joe's sponsorship. I shop there for everything.
Send this over to them.
Listen, Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
I would love a sponsorship.
Georgia Peach for life is available at Tradition Kitchens. Amazing. See what I mean? Ruby said at the beginning that we were here to talk about as if you're in your neighbor's kitchen, and we hope everyone felt that way. I'm gonna give a quick roundup of upcoming classes, but first I think we all need to give a huge round of applause. So feel free to unmute or use your favorite emoji for Karan. Thank you so much. Oh, I love it. If you go gallery view, you can see all the clapping that's hopping up.
Oh,
I
wait,
love it.
let me see if I can try.
It's so fun. And we've got party horn from Bernice. Danny's giving you a heart.
Good job. Good job.
May, thumbs up. This was so beautiful. I was looking to see if Radiance and her +1, her lovely child, is still here, but I don't see them. They probably went to bed. Bedtime stories with blueberry cookies, pre-cocktails. But Karan, thank you again. Really, this was a joy, and everyone should check out her prior classes. We'll send that in the follow-up email so you can check out what she has shared with us prior. So thank you. It means a lot having you.
It's always a pleasure, Julia. Only for Julia and Ruby. Only for those two.
We love you. Thank you. Thank you.
And Julia, you have good too, by the way. I don't know if that was intentional.
Oh, I know. We matched. Yeah, I went with the blueberry theme and the braids too.
And the braids. That I don't have my championship shirt yet, but as soon as that comes, I'm gonna wear it for like every day for about a week.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I love it. We're very proud, has been since 1995, since our team won. So woo, go Braves. So I wanted to just let everyone know, thanks for sticking with us. Who else is still here? We have 50 of you on the line, which is awesome. We have 4 upcoming classes to announce. 2 are actually not posted yet. So wanted to just let everyone know, you'll be the first to know before they go live, probably sometime this weekend. We're bringing Rosh back for, I've lost track, maybe like our 6th class. She's based in Melbourne, and she'll be teaching on Friday, November 19th. For another amazing mogul cuisine. So stay tuned for that. Then on the 21st, how many of you have dogs? I'd love to see like a show of hands. Feel free to raise your hand or give us a thumbs up or an emoji. I see a few people. Okay, so we are going to be doing our first ever dog baking class, homemade biscuits for your pup. So really, really excited to bring back Dina, who has taught before with us. So stay tuned for that class happening, so you can bake some holiday treats for your dog or a dog at a shelter near you. And then we also have 2 other classes posted for December, mutton kadai with an amazing bread, which I might call on Parul to help me pronounce if you're able to. I'll put it in the chat. And then Ploy is coming back on November 10th, and she will be teaching another incredible Thai dish. She's teaching North Noodle Curry Soup and a ginger spiced tea. So Ploy has been an amazing student and teacher. So as you see, we have so many classes coming, but we also are all about volunteers teaching. So we've already recruited Brandon. I'm working on Janet because I love her Instagram, but any of you who are out here, please let us know if you want to cook with us. We really love it. It's all made with joy. So thank you. Parul, how do I say the official class that's happening on December 3rd?
Lacha parota.
Say it again.
Lacha. Think of it like LACHA. Lacha.
Awesome.
Like a LATCHA. Lacha parota.
Lacha.
It's like a flatbread.
Lacha.
And does Mom agree?
Yeah, I'm trying to get confirmation over here. You guys want to say it?
Lacha parota.
You got that?
Yes. Parul and Mom, we're approaching your 1-year class anniversary, so no pressure, but we're gonna need to bring you both back. The whole family taught last year in December and kicked off an Indian tradition of Tradition Kitchens. So thank you, Parul. One of my oldest friends who is at almost every class. So you win like amazing points for all you've learned.
Absolutely. It's been fun.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So that is it for my official closing announcements. Ruby helped us organize this amazing class as a kitchen ambassador. I'm going to hand it back to you to close us out.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you, Julia. So this has been a really wonderful class. Thank you so much for attending. Like I said at the beginning, Tradition Kitchens just wouldn't be this way at all without such wonderful attendees. So thank you. And obviously a huge major thank you to Karon for coming back and making this kind of a little legacy situation. So yeah, this is great. We hopefully will be graced with another class in the future, but no pressure. But yeah, this was really lovely. And we'll be sending out, like we said before, the recording of this class will be posted on our YouTube channel, and it'll also be, all the links we'll send to you guys in the post-class email, and we'll have the full recipe for you guys if you want to make this in the future as well. And I think that's about it. Yeah, we'll also add resources like our Instagram, Facebook, so you can tag us, keep in touch. We'll also send the Eventbrite page. That's where we have the links to register for the future classes and the special first look classes that we haven't even posted yet. Woo, you guys will have first access. So that's awesome. But yeah, thank you so much for making this a special place. And I hope everyone has a good evening, afternoon, wherever you are.
Thank you, Ruby. Awesome way to close this out. Really, really wonderful time together. I'm going to stop recording. If anyone has any final questions off record, we will do that. Thank you. See you
Thank
all.
you. Thank you.
You, bye.
Bye.